What we're going to do the half-lap miter joint, which is the second part of your clock door. There's 3 phases on this. The first set is to cut your doors to the right width, your boards, which we just went over a few minutes ago, right?
Yep.
Horizontal boards, you're going to cut them what length, Martin?
Like 1/16 over the width of your clock.
1/16 longer, which we refer to as what? Crowd. Then you have your vertical boards that you're going to cut. Little wiggle room, right? Seriously? Okay, good. You have to have that before you come over here. When you come over here, you're going to have 4 different setups. Okay, you might have 4 boards for 2 doors, or you might want to do 1 door and then do the other door later. All right. The type of joint you're going to get is a half-lap miter joint. Okay. A miter joint is simply this right here. It's 2 45-degree angles cut. Okay, that would be a miter joint. What's the problem with this type of wood joint right here, Cantman? What do you think?
How are you going to glue it?
Well, I can glue that. What's the issue with it?
You can't nail it.
I don't want to nail it. What's the issue with that type of wood joint, though? Is it going to be real stable?
No.
No. It's end grain. The glue is going to soak into the pores, okay? And as soon as you bump it, it's going to fall apart. But it looks pretty good. It's a nice-looking wood joint, correct? If I did a half lap, where I removed half the material of the board, okay, the width of the board, it actually gives me a lot of surface area. And if I glue it up, it's going to be a really good, strong wood joint. But what's the problem with that? It doesn't look that great. It's kind of boring. Okay? So what we do over here is a half-lap miter joint, which is a lap joint and a miter on the front of your door, which ends up looking like you did a miter joint. But it also gives you the benefit of the lap joint, which gives you a lot of surface area on the back. You'll see it's a nice, strong joint. Okay? So you're going to use 2 table saws and 3 jigs on the 2 table saws. To start with, when you come over here, you're only going to use the horizontal pieces. So if you have boards that you marked with a vertical, put them in your locker, put them on the table over there, lay them over here, get them out of the way. You might have 4 boards if you're going to do both doors at once, or you can just do 2. All you're going to use is this jig right here. Okay, nice and safe. Got a little sawdust built up here. Red writing. You can read that, right? What's it say?
Horizontal dropping pieces.
Best side up.
You're going to inspect your boards. If you like this side, you think that looks really neat compared to the other side, make sure that side faces up on this particular application, okay? This is a really safe jig. You have to almost make yourself hurt yourself over here if you want to try that. Pretty hard. You have to stick your finger in there and run it through. Only thing students do once in a while, they pinch their fingers on here, which isn't really detrimental to your livelihood or anything. But be careful, that kind of cams will pinch you. All you're ultimately going to do is take the board, slide it in here. You're going to go to set number 1, cam it down. You're going to run it through. It hits a stop right here. You're going to back it up, go to 2, 3. You're going to stop right at the beginning of 4. Okay? Then you're going to take that board out and you're going to actually check it to make sure it fits. With our half lap here, it should be flush right there on the top like that. Maybe stick out a tiny bit, okay? But you don't want it to be short. If it's short, it won't mash up and you'll have like gaps in the clock door. So, if you decide after you take the stop line that it's a little bit short, what can you do?
Cut it one more.
Move it in a little bit more to the back of the line. You can creep in, you can creep up on it or creep in on it, okay? It's called creeping or sneaking up on the joint. It's better than actually going beyond the line the first time and saying, oops, I cut too much. Because unlike math class, you can't erase this and start over. You're going to have that, which will work out, but you'll have a gap on the back of your door, which you really don't want to see. So for this jig, up here, you're going to take your board, there's a place for your hands, you're just going to slide it in, best side up, right there number 1, cam it down, you want to kind of hold here with your hand, you're just going to push through, pull it back, cam it, push through, pull it back, until you get to the stop sign, and then we'll check it from there. You're going to make sure you have dust collector on. I'm not going to have it on for demo purposes, just so we can hear when we speak, okay? Matt, why don't you go ahead and do the first one here, since you're up front. check it. Got a little shoulder right there. You actually went a little bit beyond one on the first step. Not a big deal. Easily fixed. Just stop a little short of the one. Go ahead and cut that. So now we'll check it. Is that flush? It's pretty good. It's actually a little bit over, which is okay. If it was short, he would just go put it back in and take a little bit more off. Jose, go ahead and do the next one. And I'll do the last one before we move along. Fingers here. Good. It's right there. Okay. So you're going to do that on at least 2 boards, maybe 4. Okay. All that is basically justified right here in that little nutshell board. Okay. 3 sentences. There's little pictures right there. If you want to actually read the detailed instructions, you can. It's on the back. You want to read a couple paragraphs there. Most people don't prefer that, but it's there for you if you need it. Okay. So, kind of like before when you did the dado groove in the back. 3 bullets. Follow those. Okay. Go in sequence. It's also up there on the board as far as the steps. I think it's step 5 through 7 for the horizontal portion. There is a second step to this that you're going to need to do, but I'm not going to go over that today because I don't want to throw too much at you at one time. So as far as the horizontals go, you can do the 2 boards or you can do all 4 for the top and bottom door. I would recommend just doing 1 door at a time though. That way if you mess up your first door, probably have a little more success in the second door. All right? All right. So when you have these, you're going to put these away or put them in your locker. Don't bring them over to the vertical portion, which we're going to do right now. So let's move over. Once again, you got the board here. You can read this. It has like a wrong sample and a correct sample. And you don't want to be this guy. Sometimes you are. This is speaking, somebody will be. You can always make a new one. And on the back, if you want to read that, you can. Okay? Detailed instruction, but primarily, you just kind of go off of this right here. There's 2 jigs you're going to use here at A and B. You're going to do which boards?
Vertical lever.
Vertical. Vertical pieces. Okay? That's up and down. For the bottom door, it's pretty obvious because they're a lot longer than the top one. Each board gets an A and a B marked on it. Okay? Just take an A and a B. What does it say in red right here? Best side down. So if you really like this face, make sure you face it down. Okay? It's kind of the opposite of over there. And you're going to mark an A and a B on each board. Notice there's an A jig right here. That used to say A. There's some sawdust underneath there now. And over here is the B. Okay? Pretty simple. Line it up. Drop in. I have an A on this one and a B. An A and a B. Same process. There's a line of 1, 2, 3, but you can't go too far because you're going to hit that wall when you're done anyway, so it's actually simple and there's no judging. Turn it on. Go to 1, push down. There's a lot of surface area there. You're going to want to push up. Okay. Number 1. Through. Number 2. Number 3. Sometimes you can go back over it again if you want to, in case you missed any little spots. Okay? If you want to do another one. What jig is that? in the past. They don't wait till that blade stops before they pick this up. Okay? I wrote it in red. Do not change jig while blade is still rotating. See this right here? Yeah? That's because the blade's still spinning and somebody goes, they go to the B jig and they go like that. Tink! And it knocks all these carbide teeth off and you scrap a $160 blade set.
Okay.
Don't want to be that person. Okay? And it's happened on this one too. See that right there? Gotta go to the A jig and they pick it up. So wait till the blade stops. Okay? Bottom line, that's the worst thing you could probably do. Plus you might get a little kickback there. After the blade quits, you're going to come over here, you're going to put the B jig in. Right? We have an A on that end and a B on that end. It's pretty simple. As long as you don't flip the board over, you're just going to rotate it like that, 180. You're going to go with the B. Okay? Amir, why don't you do this one? Mark, you're doing the last one. Good. All right, take our board. Does it look like this one up here? Besides being a little long. That's correct. You do not want to do the B on both ends or the A on both ends, because then you have to start over and scrap your board. Okay? And it's the same on both pieces, and ultimately when you get done, you will end up with the half-lap miter. Once we cut the ears off, like this right here. See that? This will be your long board right here. You do the other piece, you'll end up with a half-lap miter door, which will glue up, and we have to go over a couple more steps, but I'm not going to go over that today. Any questions on that? All right, so remember, you got the objectives on the board, you can follow that. When you get up here, read the 3 sentences, look at the pictures, okay? Think it through before you commit to it. If you want to read the back, you can. Okay? Even though no people